Assalamu alaikum viewers. Today we are discussing about the organic compounds. What are the organic compounds? Organic compounds are those in which carbon atoms are covalently bonded with other elements. Mostly you have seen hydrogen, but oxygen and nitrogen are also. Their examples are ethane, alcohol, amine, polystyrene, chloroform, all that one. When we talk about the general characteristics of organic compounds, their first is source, how they are. They are taken by organic compounds obtained always from living things like animals and plants. But when we see the composition, carbon is the key element in all organic compounds, but frequently used with hydrogen. All others, but frequently you will see the hydrogen. When we talk about the stability, organic compounds are mostly insoluble in water, but they are soluble in organic solvents like benzene. That's why they are non-polar organic compounds. When we see the melting point, they have a very low. But when we talk about the rate of reactivity, what it is also low or slow. But what about the electrical conductivity? Electric conductivity, they are not conductors of electricity. They are not. But when we're talking about the combustion, all organic compounds are more combustible in presence of oxygen. But the stability, oh, they have a less stability whenever their temperature is high. Representation of organic compounds, how the organic compounds can be represented. Organic compounds will be represented by four ways. First one is molecular formula, second is structural formula, third one is condensed form, and what about next one? This one is dot and cross structural form of formula. Molecular formula, first one is molecular formula is the formula that indicate the exact number of atoms in any molecule of an organic compound. When we talk about the C4H10, it means it will definitely tell us about the C is a butane, 4 carbons with 10 hydrogen. Exact numbers are seen. Structural formula, when here we see the structural formula, how they are represented. They are represented by the lines, single line, double line, or three lines. All these lines represent a bond. Single line you mean single bond, two lines mean double bond, three lines you mean triple bond. When we see the butane C4H10, here is the structural formula, N-butane. This one is a normal butane. But when we see another one, is a isobutane. What's the difference between isobutane and N-butane? Mostly the students are confused. Both structure form is the same one. But what is the difference? Difference is that when in isobutane, the central carbon atom has three hydrogens available. Like here, you will see the carbon with carbon, three hydrogens. But when we see the normal, it only in a line of 4 carbon atoms are bonded with one another, and no central atoms has 3 carbon separately. Condensed form, same formula of N-butane. Whenever we have to write it without the lines or omitting the lines between them, it will be a normal or condensed formula. CH3, CS2, CS2, CS3. In this very structural form, there is no lines. All lines are omitted. So also in isobutane, it means it is a condensed form. In a condensed form, we are not writing any kind of lines, so we are only writing in a simple structure. Condensed form. Dot and cross formula. Dot and cross formula is also known as the electronic formula. Why electronic formula? Mostly this formula shows the sharing of electron between the atoms. Here we see the carbon atoms are sharing, that dot is representing their sharing. How condensed molecular formula or structure formula or condensed formula? How? Just like a methane, here is a H4. When we see the structural formula, carbon with 4 hydrogen. But when we see in the CH4 without lines are omitted, it is a condensed form. In the condensed form, as I already told you that we are omitting the lines. There will be no any lines will be between the atoms. Now second one is ethane, C2H6. As the carbons are being increased, the names are being changed. Here is ethane, C2H6. Here is the structural formula. Only the difference is that lines are representing the structural formula. But when we see the condensed form, there is no lines. Same formula has been written in this very form. We have to balance, or we have to see the valency of electron be balanced. Butane C4H10, pentane C5, hexane C6, heptane C7, octane C8, nonane C9, or decan C10. All have a structural and the condensed form. Only the difference between them is that lines. If the lines are omitted, they are in the condensed form. If the line is given between the bonding atoms, carbon to carbon, or they are sharing with the hydrogen, they are representing the lines. Alkanes structural formula, molecular formula, and the alkyl radical name. How they are extracted from alkane to alkyl. When we talk about the alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons, and alkanes mean little affinity they have in the formula. When it comes in alkane, they might be range from 1 to 40. They are most significant homologous sequence in the compounds. But when we talk about the alkyl radicals are mostly derived from the alkanes, and the one hydrogen atom is being seen lesser. So this form is seen as alkyl. What we have here, we have a carbon with 4 hydrogen, but when we are talking about the alkyl, 1 hydrogen is being missed. So CH3 with dash is represent that there is a 1 hydrogen is missing. But only we have to balance, or keep in mind to balance the valency of the carbon. It's very necessary. That is 4. When we see the first one is methane, CH4 is a molecular formula. And when we talk about the alkyl radicals, is CH3, you mean methyl. When we talk about ethane, you mean the carbon is range from 1 to 2. Here is a 2 carbon and 6 hydrogen. As the carbon are being increased, the hydrogen will be increased 2 by 2. Now one by here is another one is ethane, C2H6, C2H5. 1 hydrogen is removed, then it will become ethyl. Now again we will see the propane. Again C3 is a propane, pro mean 3. Now propane, ane representing the alkane. Here is the ane is the last 3 words which representing the alkane. Propane, C3H8. And when we talk about the alkyl, KLY is used instead of ane radical. It means C3H7, and it will become propyl, PYL. Propane, ane replaced by the PYL whenever we are talking about the alkyl. Methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, and decane all have a same formula, or same rules are applied whenever we are just changing alkanes to alkyl. So 1 of hydrogen will be removed, and the ane will be replaced by TYL. That one is the replacement which representing the radicals, and that radical shows that is alkyl radical. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.